did mess up at the start.
Not that much difference in the corner.
Dang, this car's heavy. I'm getting some understeering here.
The Legacy's jumped to second place, but
this car turns much faster, but on the straights, I had the DSC on the first lap. I'm going to ditch it now.
and let's see the difference.
The rear slides a bit, and here I'm getting too much power.
Will Takuya's high-powered four-wheel drive Legacy break loose? The M3's fast even with the DSC on.
If I have the right line, which is a line that doesn't let the DSC work, I can keep up the space.
It's heavy. This front end is cumbersome. I can't get it to turn into the corners.
Gansan in there with an automatic, doing quite well with it. Whoa! What happened there?
The VSC works where it shouldn't.
The Euro R did well in the infield, but on the straight, the Legacy humming along fast.
The M3 is fast too.
The M3's fast, but that's some understeering on the final corner.
Let's turn off the DSC.
This is how the car looks in action. And now the final lap.
Is the M3 too fast for me? I do have four-wheel drive in this ring, you know.
Although the traction control is off, the Aristo's VSC can't be cut off.
It does this when you slide the car.
Considering that this car is a hefty 1,800 kilos, it's performing great.
He's closing in on the Euro R. Corner exit Drift King style by the Drift King himself.
That was great, but this thing's fat. Heavy. On the infield, those lighter cars are simply faster.
Look how the M3's performing with the DSC switched off.
How can a car like this perform so well?
Ooh, the M5 is drifting back there. There we go, I got away. The engine response is so sensitive. I can't lose concentration, and corners like this one are tough in these conditions.
The M3 comes in first, no sweat. The conditions less than ideal for this ride, but the M3 left the Legacy in the rear view mirror.
So who came in first?
The M3, this car's fast.
M3, who was the M3 fighting?
No one.
Oh, the M3 has no rivals.
The M5 was quick, wasn't it?
When the DSC is switched off, the M5's rear wheels become totally free. It's cumbersome, but fun.
You know, the Aristo's active control settings should be reset, or provide us with a cutoff switch.
Yeah, it's getting better, but they really should do that.
Other than that, the Aristo's a nice ride.
And who was second?
The Legacy.
Legacy?
Yeah, the Legacy.
The Legacy flies, doesn't it?
It's fast, but
Especially in these conditions.
four-wheel drives are good.
How does it compare with the other vehicles?
The car was fast on the straights, but not as fast as the M3. The four-wheel drive was a big advantage in the wet conditions.
Did UOR get beat up?
No, it's quite fast in the corners. But on the straight, it couldn't keep up with the B4.
What was good about the corners?
It's got a 2-liter non-turbo, right?
The braking was good and the cornering was pretty fast.
How about Hachan?
I was in the 330i.
Yeah, it was a nice machine.
A standard Beamer, right? Rivals?
I had no one in front of me and no one was behind me. Though, whatchamacallit, the DSC? I had that most of the time, but when I switched it off, the tires didn't grip. Yeah, right.
Doesn't grip.
Exactly. It doesn't go with tarmac.
So that's why you were fooling around after the race.
At the hairpin?
You were spinning.
Just a tad. I thought I'd warm up my tires, but the race was already over, so what the hey?
Hattori gets away with a lot. Congrats on winning 2 in a row.
Arigato.
Next up, the drift test by Mr. Drift King himself, Tsuchiya.
This is the fun part of driving, and one way to enjoy a sports car.
Ah, nice power slide there.
The car's movement is very light. Because it's light, it turns in very easily. Oh, here's a little understeering. It's more than adequate when you go over the limit. But you know, it's different from being easy to drift.
The CBC activates when braking into a corner.
After you're in the drifting mode, the car responds to the driver right away. It responds back to countersteer. Very much different from some of the unfriendly cars out there that don't react well with the driver.
With the RX-7 having the same layout as the M3, we know the RX-7's fast, but is it any fun?
The feel of the suspension is similar to that of ones found on typical sports cars. Is it fun? I'm afraid not. The M3 is a much more enjoyable ride. Designing the car to go faster and making a car fun to drive are two different things. It's hard to draw the line. Whoa! On the rain, this understeering is horrible.
It's the benchmark for all sports vehicles, the Porsche 911 Carrera.
This car has torque. After it slides, whoa, I'm water skiing. Once it starts sliding, it's a little bit tricky, as usual. Compared to the the M3 and the RX-7, the steering action of the Porsche has to be a bit quicker. Yeah, it's easy to get into drift mode. Easier than the M3 or the RX-7. I can feel the weight shifting towards the back much more clearly.
One more from the JDM lineup, the mid-engine NSX Type S. How does it compare to the rear-engine Porsche?
It's easy like the Porsche. Simple to change the car's direction. The car just goes in the corner if I give it a little brake action. The Carrera and the NSX are both predictable. Even though they're both extremely fast cars, they have room for driving pleasure as well. There is sufficient capacity for turning the car